Hello my friends and welcome. We have some of the updates from the front lines based on the deep state map resource. So one update is coming from the south front line. Here we are speaking about the Robotyne village, and Ukrainian forces are getting closer to the place day by day. So let's go to the timeline. Yesterday and it is today. The Ukrainian armed forces are now taking this elevation in this area that will allow to spot of what is happening in Robotyne without any drones. Again, the Ukrainian army is advancing from two of the directions. One is direct from the north to Robotyne and the other one is from this direction. It is quite hard to penetrate the Russian defense lines in this area since they were able to build lots of the defense lines over here. Let's zoom in to Velika Novosilka because there are also some of the changes. It was yesterday and it is today. We have the movement of Ukrainian armed forces near to Novodonetsk. Unfortunately, Ukrainian convoy was ambushed there recently. We lost some of the armored vehicles and tanks. One of the tanks was French-made IMX-10. I showed you the pictures in one of my latest videos. One of the tanks was the French-made IMX-10. I showed you the pictures in one of my previous videos. Nevertheless, the Ukrainian army continued to move forward. Yes, it's not easy, but we go in. We have also some of the changes in Bakhmut direction, especially near to Klishchivka. So this is the channel over here, and the Ukrainian army was able to move forward closer to Klishchivka. Yes, we are still further away from this village, but let's measure the distance. It's around 2.75 kilometers. So Ukrainian army may use mortars and FPV drones to target the Russian positions in Klishchivka itself. Here is also the high elevation point, so probably Ukraine may go through the valley over here, or we should bypass it from this direction because Russia still has the positions on the top. Let's go for the timeline. In this area it was before and it is today, so Ukraine took this forest line and moved forward. There is also the movement on the north from our side. It was the day before and it is today. Ukraine started to assault in this direction just recently, so it was a couple of days ago and it is today. Quite a nice movement, even though it's very slow, we understand, but Russia possessed the huge resistance against our forces in the Bakhmut area. Yes, we do aware that Wagner left this area, they left the Bakhmut city, but Russian reinforcements got lots of the new ammunition, especially provided by the Russian allies like Iran. Actually, before Russia wanted to have this road for the further assault towards Slavyansk, Kramatorsk, but now they were pushed back by Ukrainian forces from this very important line, and it's the good success of Ukrainian armed forces in the Bakhmut area. From the information that we started to obtain today from our official channels, there was the main command for Ukrainian forces to intensify the assault actions in the Bakhmut direction and also on the south part. Plus, President Zelensky asks Zaluzhny, the main general commander of Ukrainian army, to send more reinforcements to the north part of Ukraine. General Zaluzhny confirmed that they are still concerned about the Wagner bases that now are building in Belarus. Yes, I almost forgot about the Ukrainian landing operation near to Kherson across Antonovsky Bridge. Not so good news are coming from the place. At least I saw the video today how Russia used their rockets, their ballistic Iskanders, and those are quite powerful. Those are designed to demolish the command centers of the enemy, and they start to basically ruin the construction that was used as the shelter of Ukrainian armed forces in this area. Based on the policy of this platform, I cannot show you some of the content, so you may check out my Telegram channel. You may find the link just in the video description below. I constantly update the information on my Telegram channel, so don't hesitate to join our club over there. We are very close to reach 200,000 subscribers on Telegram. About the Zaporizhia nuclear power plant, Russian side started to accuse Ukraine of preparing some sort of the attack on the station. Actually, the power plant is under control by the Russian forces and those are their duties to provide the safety of the station, but Ukraine is not planning any sort of the attacks on this nuclear power station because in that case that would lead to dramatic negative circumstances for Ukraine itself as the country as well as for population and not only for Ukraine. There was some shooting reported in the capital city airport of Moldova, Chisinau. As it claimed by the Moldovan media resources, there was one Russian who was rejected to enter the country and he somehow started the shooting. Two persons, probably security personnel of the airport, lost their lives because of this. Finally, the suspect was arrested, and again some of the media resources said that he is the ex-Wagner soldier. There was the big interview with the General Commander Zaluzhny today. He said about the issues in Ukrainian army and the military support that we're still in desperate need. For example, he said that without the proper aviation, the Western-made jets, it's impossible to assault on the south part of the front lines as we did it before last year. This time Russia got prepared for Ukrainian actions and it's very hard to move forward. He also said that he doesn't like the meaning of the word slow movement of Ukrainian armed forces that he sees in the media resources of the Western countries, because Ukrainian soldiers pay a very high price with assault actions on the south. In that way, he says how, for example, he speaks with Mark Milley General. He asked for 10,000 more shells for the week, otherwise 1,000 more Ukrainian soldiers would lose their lives on the front lines. As you see, ammunition, artillery, aviation saves lives. And then we were laughing about Prigozhin, Shoigu, where is the artillery? He also was appealing in similar way, so the more ammunition Ukrainian army has, the less losses we would have in that case. He also said about the worst case scenario in this war, the nuclear attack from the Russian side. But even in that case, he said Ukrainian army will not give up and continue fighting. Ukraine launched the attack on Berdansk airfield this morning. Unfortunately, my friends, I cannot show you the full video. You may find it on my Telegram channel. Well, Ukraine probably used the Storm Shadow cruise missiles, because Berdansk is unreachable from the Ukrainian-controlled territory with the standard HIMARS rockets. Just recently, Russia sent more of the K-52 attack helicopters to Berdansk airfield. The Russian helicopters play a great role in stopping Ukrainian army from further assault. The German Chancellor Olaf Scholz said that the probability for the conflict to go for a very long time is very high. So allies should gather the efforts and be ready to support Ukraine for a long run. Poland wants to allow the United States to place the nukes on its territory. It would be the answer for the Russia to place their nukes in Belarus. Alright, the full story about those guys you may find on my Telegram. Basically, as you can see, this is the small boat and there were 3 of the Russian soldiers. Now there are 2 because there were some of the circumstances for them to become 2 out of 3, and finally there will be 0 Russian soldiers. They attempted to land on the Ukrainian-controlled shore and our guys went to meet them. The other video is about the blind Russian tank driver. So here you can see there is the tank, the Russian one, and those are the mines just lying on the road. Even from the drone far away you may spot those mines. So you may understand what happened to that tank. Big kaboom! Fortunately for the crew members of the tank, they stayed alive. They left the machine and evacuated from the place on their own feet. It means that they were not significantly injured. So tank actually saved them, but for the Russian tank there is not a lot that you can see as the tank driver if you are not putting up your head to see everything. Speaking about the mines, those were probably Russian mines. Hungary, again, it's the only country in the European Union that blocks the aid for Ukraine. The European Union has the long-lasting program to give Ukraine the support of 50 billion euros, but this time Hungary said that they will vote against this deal. This is how the Zaporizhia nuclear power plant looks like from the Ukrainian-controlled territory. Just across the Dnieper river, the Dnieper is still there, but it's very shallow and very narrow. Should Ukraine move in to get the station under control? Well, in that case, Russia may try to blow it up, so it's not a good scenario from my perspective. This sign was spotted today in Vilnius near to the airport. There will be the big meeting of the NATO member countries and Ukraine. I don't think that NATO will take Ukraine as the member in a nearby perspective, as well as Sweden, because there are 2 of the NATO member countries which are strongly opposing the membership of Sweden, Turkey and Obviously Hungary. Nevertheless, according to the information that went to the press, Germany, United Kingdom, United States of America and France will provide guarantees, security guarantees for Ukraine. I just hope that it will not be the second Budapest memorandum for Ukraine, that we gave up all of the nukes and gained nothing, some of the security guarantees, but no one is providing them nowadays to Ukraine. Yes, we have the weaponry support, but if we speak about the front lines, Ukrainian soldiers are fighting alone against Russia. The interesting news about the NATO summit, that President Zelensky announced the significant movement of Ukrainian forces in nearby future. He said that till that summit, Ukraine will get some success on the front lines. We'll see. We have the high-quality satellite images presented by the BBC of the Wagner military camp that was built in Belarus. So there are some of the big tents, the infrastructure is quite developed, even some of the houses out there, big buildings, barracks, supply centers, etc. Again, this camp is not even close to Ukrainian border, it's more closer to the Russian border. The self-proclaimed president of Belarus, Lukashenko, said that they know all of the coordinates of the NATO centers, and in case of the aggression towards Belarus, they may use probably nukes, the tactical nukes they will receive from the Russian Federation. Till this moment, there was no movement of the nukes from Russia to Belarus recorded by the United States intelligence. The situation in France in some of the cities is getting terrible. Police start to use the armored vehicles against the protesters, and protesters start to use the weaponry against the police. From what I understood, that in some of the cities, protesters were able to get access to the storages of weaponry. I know that there could be many of the protests in France, but I can't remember this level of escalation really. My friends, I'm gonna keep you updated on situation in Ukraine. Don't forget to press the like to this video, and also if you want to support my job, there will be some of the links available in the video description just below. You may support me on PayPal, Patreon, or on the sponsorship on this YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your awesome support. I wish you all a peaceful sky wherever you are, and have a great time.